Welcome to an all new Author's Corner with H.D. Campbell. As always, I'm your host, H.D. Campbell. Today, I'm happy to announce we have a new sponsor. In addition to Senior Living Today, Home of the Living Legacy Planner, written by Courtney Jones, I'd like to introduce you to the Author's List. It's a new magazine debuting in January, and it's for writers and authors in any one of the literary world and beyond. If you're a writer, if you're a journalist, if you're a poet, whatever genre, you can publish to this magazine. And like I say, they're a great magazine, and we'll be interviewing the founders, Nicole Bradley and Dominique Watson, in a couple of weeks right here on the Office Corner. So stay tuned for that, and I'll have more details on the Office Corner later. Today, we have a big episode. We have an episode with best-selling author Sylvia Hubbard. We'll be talking about her years of contributions to the writing community. We'll be talking about her writing style. We'll be talking about a whole bunch of different things with her. It should be great. Also, too, a couple of announcements. Last week, I didn't get around to getting the giveaway for the two tickets for the show that comedian Ronnie J is doing for Thanksgiving. I'll be doing that this Monday. Also, too, there'll be a cover reveal for my hard drive author, Thunder Heart Lion, which will also be later this week. Got a little behind last week. Now I'm back up to where I need to be, so all that will be all caught up. So thank you for your patience, and I appreciate you. But without further ado, when we come back, we'll have an interview with Sylvia Hubbard. stay tuned here next week for the Author's Corner, where we're going to have author Nobby Robbins. He's an author, editor, and so much more. And he'll be right here telling us about his literary world and everything in between. Now, without further ado, we're going to have author Sylvia Hubbard, and here's the part one of the interview. Welcome back to the Author's Corner, where I have a treat for you guys. I have my friend. Yes, I can call her my friend. She is best-selling author and the cliffhanger queen, Sylvia Hubbard. How are you doing today?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, we're going to get through a lot today. But first, I want to backtrack a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I want to talk about because you have an amazing career. You've been in the literary world for how many years now?
It'll be 25 years, quarter of a century.
I mean, that's a very long. I mean, I'm gonna tell you how long. I mean, I think she started just a year or two before I did. I mean, she has just. You just ought to just if you check the website out and everything. But we'll get to all that here in just a second. Now, before we get into your latest work, I want to talk about what you've been up to since we last spoke.
Oh yeah, that's been a while. That's been a while. Oh my goodness. I can't even remember what we I remember we last spoke. I remember that. I just can't remember. I think was that the trouble with Gabrielle or I can't remember.
Oh, okay,
God.
yes, yes, actually it was. I remember.
Oh my
Oh yeah.
God. Am I out? I am shocked I remember. That what's been up since then? So that was my pandemic book. That's how I remember that one. So we were coming out of the pandemic, just getting everything back together. Just pretty much the same. I've adopted a lot more writing routines, getting stronger on, being consistent and finishing up books. Just looking at my whole book world and just adding more to the catalog in terms of finally finishing some of the unfinished books. I've done that and I was pretty proud of myself that I spent like just 2 years hammering out those unfinished books. And then now I'm just, breaking out with new books once, Kindle Vella, because we jumped all into Kindle Vella, a lot of authors. So once I jumped out of it, once it was, I had jumped out of it a little bit before it went away. And I had just kind of like, hey, let me start working on habits and promo and things like that. Now I'm back into, doing my own thing on my website. And yeah, I'll be finalizing so I can come out with new projects, kind of like Kindle Vella, where I have my works chapter by chapter on my website again.
Oh, shit, I love that. So, explain to me, real quick, how has the Kindle Vella thing never affected you as much as it affected other people? How do you personally feel about the whole Kindle Vella?
It was fun for me. I enjoyed myself. Anything I usually take on and I take on seriously, I'm gonna have fun with it. So I've already told myself that, but I actually enjoyed myself. I accrued a lot of readers, a lot of reviews, and then I have like a couple of books that I have on the shelf that I can pop out now, that people haven't even read if you didn't join the Kindle Velo crowd that, they're hammering for, which I'm trying to get out as fast as possible. But at least, I have some books in the back end, and then I can still work on my front end stuff peacefully without being stressed about it. So yeah, that whole experience was great. But I had been doing kind of like writing like Kindle Vella on my website previously. So the stress of it all, the time parameters, getting work out and up really fast, that fast turnaround time that it involved. I had already been doing that. So I was kind of well trained in it already. So it didn't it didn't put a scar on my soul like other people did. They were all stressed about it and trying to get the numbers up and trying to get the bonus and the coins. Where I was like, okay, well, I'm used to running like this. Let's go.
Hey, I
I
love
didn't even
this.
have to warm up.
I'm going to be very honest with you. You keep me motivated, and there's a lot of people around me. I know that stay motivated. Like our good friend Lashonda Hoffman, she stayed motivated. You keep a lot of us just plain motivated.
Aw, thank
It's like,
you.
and a lot of times you make us feel lazy, but eventually, it's like, and I know I work a lot, but it's just I see you here, here, and here, and it's just so amazing, and you're always dropping something, and I just love it.
Try. I think I realized a long time ago. I had to realize a long time ago. The only person in competition with me is me. So I try to up myself every time. I try to be better, whether it's my writing, my publishing, or my marketing life. I try to be better in all regards. I'm failing a lot. It feels like I'm failing a lot in my marketing world, but at least I'm up in my writing and publishing world, and that's what's more important to me. So I'm just trying to improve myself instead of just resting on my laurels and saying, okay, I'll just wait for everybody to catch up. I'm just going to keep going, drop the gems, and then keep going.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I want to get right into your latest piece that I just fell in love with on TikTok. I love your promo. I want you to tell us about it.
Okay. So my latest one is Delilah's Desire, and it's about a woman who is engaged to uh, a young man, but then she falls in love with his father upon first meeting him. So that becomes not only that, not the romance part, but the suspense part is also wrapped around it. Money, greed, family. The same when money comes into play. Everything, all morals and values just go out the window. So this was supposed to be like a short story, kind of quickie that turned into this long saga. And I was really proud of it once I finished it in Kindle Vella. And I was like, well, let me come out with it. And then he has brothers. He has a found sister. So it's just basically, an age gap, romance, suspense, noir. That I just fell in love with the characters and I knew I had to bring it to life. So right now we are in book 1 that came out July 1st. Book 2 is August 1st and book 3 will be October 1st, and that'll also premiere with the audio and paperback version of the entire book.
Awesome. I love that. So, but where can we get it?
Well, currently, right now, you can get it on Amazon Kindle Unlimited, and you can download it from there. If you have Prime and or Kindle Unlimited account, you can get it. Of course, read it for free, and that's where it's going to be available for ebooks, and then for paperback, it will be distributed everywhere. And then audio, you can only get it downloaded from website. That's where we're going to be selling that at because I'm trying to do more proprietary stuff. So wish me luck on that.
Well, we always get the back, so that's not a problem. My next question for you is, and you're that person that's always got something coming. What else you got that's coming out or that's already out?
Okay, so coming up in September, I'll start dropping chapters of my newest work in progress, which will be Her Substitute Husband, His Brothers. Now, I do have a book called Her Substitute Husband, His Boss that was available on Kindle Vella. And that's actually available on my website exclusively, but it's now another book, kind of like the same premise, but a different story. Her substitute husband, his brothers, where Tori gets involved in a fake marriage and ends up being involved with her husband's brothers as well. So yeah, I don't know where it came from, but it popped out, and I've been able to almost get like almost 150,000 words on paper in less than 4 months. So that that's pretty that's pretty prolific.
Tell me what's true about this. Tell me if this statement is true. This is a statement that I use all the time. We as authors enjoy starting trouble just so we can find a way to fix it.
Yeah, pretty much because I love painting my characters into corners where I'm sitting up there like, "Ooh, girl, I don't know how you got up in that trouble, but you need to get yourself out." Yeah, I mean, talking to them like, "Ooh, Jesus, I don't know how you gonna get yourself out of that one, but good luck."
See,
So like, yeah,
yeah,
I do that a lot. And I think it goes to I think we have to do it because we should be challenging ourselves. You know, we shouldn't be taking the easy way out, and we should be true to our characters and true to like real life, especially if you're writing contemporary. I mean, you should have, even though you don't want to break the fourth wall for the reader, you should put elements of realism in there where they can learn how to handle and how to problem solve. And I guess that's the burden of our profession, is that that's what we are. We just basically can think ourselves out of problems and think our characters out of the situations that they're in, and that just makes it really enjoyable for us. But it's a bonus because you get to think and broaden your mind when you're doing that for yourself. So if you're not challenging your characters, you're not challenging yourself, which in turn is not a benefit to doing all of this.
I learned so much. Even though I've interviewed her before a couple of times, I'm still learning more every time we interview. So basically, and this next segment's not going to be any different. So when we come back, we're going to have the conclusion of the interview, including where can we buy her books, more about her website, and more about her upcoming project. Stay tuned. Welcome back. I want you to stay tuned for November 24th when we have the founders of the Author Slim. We're going to have Nicole Bradley and Dominique Watson, which will be talking about the magazine, how you can be a part of the magazine, and everything that the magazine is going to do for the literary world. Stay tuned for that. Um, but next, here's part two of the interview and how to get to know about that for Sylvia Hubbard. Two characters. I'm very big on characters. That's actually, to me, that's actually one of my most important elements in any story. How character driven are you?
I'm very character driven. And in the beginning of the story, usually it's me just piling crap on somebody's shoulders, like, oh girl, this is happening. Oh no, this is happening. Oh, you made this wrong choice. Girl, no, you didn't. And then it comes to where I'm taking that load for her and saying, okay, so how are we going to figure this out and with the realm of what you know, what you can do, and what is possible. And then just going in with that, all the while focusing on the goal of the story is to make her happy at the end. And so I become very focused and very character driven once we get into the middle of the story, because that's when all the stakes have risen. And then I must meet those criterias in order to give my readers, number one, the happily ever after that I promised, and number two, not get anybody killed. And number three, give the reader a sense that, this is going to be a ride and you're going to enjoy the journey and you're definitely going to enjoy the ending.
Love it. I love that. So, and the reason I'm at, because see, I have a lot of new writers that I try to reach out to, and people that want to ask about, and I don't want to just give my aspect as to writing a story. I want to give a lot of my colleagues, especially you, a lot, especially you, because you, like I say, you're the best of us. But I'm just gonna put that out there. You're the best of us.
Thank you.
Uh,
Sure.
no, you're welcome, and that's not a problem at all. So, in order to bring a story, how do you approach the story in the beginning, from beginning to end?
Well, usually the story sits in my head. A situation will sit in my head for a while, just, kind of like a song you can't get out of your head. So the situation just sits there floating around, just, constantly saying, "Ooh, that's a good tune. I like that beat." Then I can't get it out of my head. And then I'll see, like, I'll start meeting the character for that. And I'll be like, "Oh my God, it would be so perfect to put that person in that type of situation, because there is no way I could get them out of that situation." This is the challenge. If I put this type of person in this type of situation, they will never be able to get out, because I know if my readers hear about this situation, they're going to be like, oh my God, there's no way a happily ever after can come for that. As soon as you hear the situation and the type of character, that's what I want to evoke. I must evoke that there is no way that storyline can work. So I find the characters, the male and a female, who should not be together in no way possible, in a situation that they should never be able to get through, and then clash it all together and say, let's see, can we work this out? No outline, no, 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 no way of planning or anything. I'm more of a pantser. So I just kind of go with the flow and just say, hey, let's see, can we get it out of there? And then once we get to the middle, that's when I become the character focus, where, oh yeah, we're going to think our way out of this one. We're going to think our way, and we're going to get to our happily ever after, and get to all the benefits of being in this situation together.
Oh my! I did not know you were a pantser.
Yes, I am a pantser. A
Oh,
lot of
I
people
did
are
not
so
know that.
shocked. Yeah,
Well,
a lot of
well, see,
people
well,
are.
see, I'm a pantser, so I mean, I can start out planning a book, but then my characters take over for me. My characters are
Yeah,
usually ones that tell me what they like, what they don't like. So I don't know if you do that, but yeah, my characters do
yeah, I
that.
do it all the time. It's a lot of people who are shocked. They're like, "Oh my God, but you write so much." And what I figured out how to get over it is that what you have to do when you get stuck, because when you're a pantser, you have no idea. You're just flailing in the dark, pretty much. Like, I have no idea what's gonna happen. I don't know what goes next. I literally have dinner with my characters in the turmoil of it all. I sit down and I'll be like, okay, let's see what your goals are, because obviously I'm not reaching your goals if I can't get through this situation. Somehow I'm going to have to work this out so you can be happy at the end. So, I just go into that, and once I figure out what they really want in life that has nothing to do with anybody else, what are their goals? What did I start off with? Then I can figure out how to get them out of that situation and make them happy.
That is
And I
good.
try to do that pretty quick because, yeah, I have to go to the next story because that one's circling around in my head, and I have to get into that beat. So I'm like, okay, we got to hurry up this song so I can get to the next one.
See, that's what I'm going through right now. We're not even going to talk about me right now, but that's what I'm going through at the moment. But a lot of my stories. This is so cool. So switching gears real quick. How many books do you have? I'm talking
Okay,
about books, short stories.
yeah.
How
So right
many?
now it's 65. Now it's 65 books. Um, all together, if we put them all in a pot, it would be 65 stories. So yeah, like I said, I just keep it going, and just, I don't even think about it. I just, jump in one, then jump out. And I'm not even a multiple book writer. I have to be in only one book at a time. I can't do that. I don't know how those other girls do it. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm writing three stories at once." No, I can't do that. I'm like a monogamous book writer. I can't be cheating on my other stories. What kind of girl you think I am?
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. I didn't because again, I didn't know we were so much alike. Because I've got 100 stories planned, but until I work on one, I can't do the other 99. That's just not.
Right. I can't cheat on it. It's just me and them characters. We fighting for our lives until we hit the end. What are you talking about? It's like you got to do this. Even when I'm editing and I have to edit, I literally have to give myself a whole day away from the other story to go and do the editing because I have to jump back into there. So yeah, and usually for editing, I have to go through, I have to like sit there and do the whole book. Like, let's go through this and then let's jump back into the story again. So yeah, I'm definitely a one book girl. I can't be cheating.
Oh, see, I love that. I love that. I love that. So, tell me a little bit about your website.
So my website was originally as a backup website. I forgot what I was using. I was using like Homestead. Remember that back in the day? And then they all of a sudden shut down. And I was like, well, I just happened to have WordPress already sitting there. And I was like, well, let me just use this one. I was actually using that one because I was blogging out stories really fast. And that was in 2004. And then 2009, I needed to jump the whole ship over there. So it's been around for a while, and then I started using it heavily. I got serious about it probably about 2012 when I got laid off of work, and I was like, "Oh my god, I need a real website." And it ended up being where I could bring it all together. So it's basically a hub of for me to be able to get my work out, bring my membership in, and also make people aware of what I'm doing, what books I have out now, and just be able to. I think I want to be able to expand more in terms of course membership. I don't want to go to Patreon or anything. I want my members to just come over to me, and let's not play these games because I can't sign in or remember another password to save my life.
And I'm going to ask the next question: how does social media play in your life with this whole thing?
Well, I kind of figure social media as being breadcrumbs. So when I am pushing stuff out into the world, into social media, I most definitely will push, my website, come back to my website to find out more, come back to the website to get more details about this book or see what questions I asked. I'm constantly still blogging, which a lot of people aren't anymore. But I am constantly still blogging because I do want to be able to, bring people back to me. I want money, not I don't want to give Mark Zuckerberg any more money.
Right.
I want
Exactly.
I want the money.
He's got enough money.
You. So I do try to do the breadcrumbs where come back to me, find out what I'm doing, get updated. And it does work. The little tactics that I do send out, they do work, even whether I'm online or offline. So that's pretty well. And I do a lot of exclusives on my website. So stuff that you can't even find on social media or out there in distribution. A lot of the books, I'm not putting them all out in mass distribution. Some books are proprietary to my website, and I love that, that I can do that and have that available for my readers who really want to, stay in my world or just want to support me.
I love that. I love that. So the next question for you is: so how can we get to know you better? How can we get to know, and how can we get to know you? I mean, beyond social media, how can we read your books? How can we meet you? How can we interact with you, the author?
Well, you can always visit me on my website at sylviahubbard.com. And that has pretty much an easy navigation of me, bio, my books, contact information. And it also has my social media links, which I am pretty much everywhere. But my social media handle is Sylvia Hubbard 1. So that's across the board. And you can pull that up and find me on everywhere: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere you can find me at Sylvia Hubbard 1. But yeah, it's not very hard to find me. At this point, you can Google me and I'm number one in the search engine. So that's a good thing for me. And with this newest book, Delilah's Desire, not only, to stay prevalent, since he has brothers, I'll only be coming out with that one, but he has like six other brothers. So it'll be a whole saga of six other books that'll follow this one. So it'll still be, I'll still be making books long before for a while now. So that's going to keep me busy. And then with the work in progress dropping, yeah, I'll be pretty busy this coming year. So you should stay tuned.
I'm going to say, how long is it going to take for the work in progress? And and I'm,
Well, that one
I
hopefully
swear I'm
will
going to keep
drop.
everybody updated on you.
Yeah, it'll be finished in probably the work in progress going on. It'll be finished by December because we do the 7 days after Christmas, and usually on the seventh day, I drop a new book. So I'm hopefully the book will be finished. Hopefully, no crisis, no power outages,
Right.
no no natural disasters,
Knock it
no
on
more
wood.
lockdowns.
Right.
We should definitely be finished. And then the newest book will probably be released on January 1st. And that's still to be determined because it's too many right now in the works that, I could just boom. So yeah. And then so yeah, next year I'll be doing an anthology and then of course finishing up the Windfall series. And then I'll be jumping over into the Hearts books. So yeah,
I'll definitely be keeping up with you on that. Most definitely. And I'll keep everybody informed of what's going on with
thank
that.
you.
No, not a problem. Do you have any events coming up or anything, any appearances, any, I said,
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you for asking. I have the Detroit Book Fair. It's called the Detroit Book Fest, and it is the largest book festival in the Metro Detroit area, and we literally take over an entire Eastern Market, which is like a fruits and vegetable market outside pavilions and everything. So we're going to be doing that on July 20th. And then following that, that weekend, I'll be doing a Sterling Heights Author Fair. That's a library system over here in Michigan. And then following that, I'll be doing a conference out in Idlewild. And if you don't know what Idlewild is for Michigan, it was one of the first Black resorts in the United States. And every year they have a literary conference, and I'll be a speaker at that conference this year. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And of course, I'll be doing the ICU Reading Book Festival, which is in August. And those girls are hosting it in Corktown, Detroit. So that's going to be cool beans. Yeah, and then I have a couple of more author fairs planned and some workshops by the end of the year. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked and busy, so I'm glad about that. That's always a blessing.
It looks like it. Most definitely, definitely a blessing. So, final word. Running out of time, so we're going to do the final word. Give you the final word. We can do shout outs. We can do advice. Whatever you want to do, the floor is yours.
So the final word shout outs, okay. So first, let's go with a shout out. Well, of course, shout outs to all my readers and all my supporters. I've been blessed with them over the years that have followed me a long time, and it's always weird because they'll walk up to me with the old covers. You know, I got new covers, and the old covers usually are something off of a paint program, and I'll be like, "Oh my god!" So I want to shout out to all those readers who supported me in the way back in the day. I can say that way back in the day, and that are still encouraging and supporting me and referring me out to all their readers. And then, of course, advice I could give to other authors. This is a lot of work, and you don't go into this lightly unless you're real serious about it. If you want to say, "Hey, I want to be like her. I want to get to that status." I'm going to tell you, you're gonna go through a lot in life, and you're gonna have your light bulb moments. But the only thing that's going to keep you shining bright in those moments are the work that you do as the filament, and that's the most important work. So do that hard work now to make your light bulb shine even brighter.
How about that? Thank you so much. So, I want to thank you very much. This has been Sylvia Hubbard. Thank you. I really appreciate you.
Thank you
And
for having me. And
we'll
thank
be
you for
back
all
after
the
this.
hard work you do for the literary community.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We've been here, see, I've been doing this, since 2009. Man,
Yeah,
it's been a
yeah.
long time. So, thank you very much. Let's see. So, when we come back, I'm going to have AC's two sits. Welcome to HD's 2 Cents. I want to talk to you about confidence in being a writer, author, or just a creative in particular. It doesn't matter where you are as opposed to another person. What you do to contribute, the work you put in it is what counts. Someone may be a way ahead of you. There may be somebody that needs to be pulled up by you. There may be someone that is so ahead of you that you're just so upset that you feel that you're not there yet. What I need you to do is continue to do the work. Don't worry about what another person is. Remember, Sylvia Hubbard said when she looks in the mirror, she realizes the only competition she has is herself. You have no competition. There is no such thing as competition in this world, as far as the literary world is concerned. You may write what another person writes, but you both write it differently. If you continue on and do the work, you'll find your own achievements. You'll find your own success. Because guess what? Technically, we're all in the same boat. Those of us that's been writing for like uh, 10, 20 years as opposed to writers who just began. Everyone is seeing their sliver of success. Just do not judge your success by another person's success. Because if you do that, you're going to stop writing. You're going to stop being creative. You're going to be bitter. In fact, we have to learn to embrace each other's gifts, each other's presence. I mean, if someone doesn't acknowledge what you do, forget them. There's 10 others that will. But you just can't be that person. Always be the bigger person when it comes to that. You keep writing, you keep selling, you keep marketing, you keep advertising your stuff, and people will buy your stuff. You will go to a fan base. We all have our fan base. We all have people who read our stuff. Don't worry about what the next person does. Well, that's it for the Author's Corner. Thank you for spending another Monday with me. Thank you. And as always, let your writing fuel your spirit, and God bless.